Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. So last time we started and finished Uric 4, it was kind of a station that was supposed to have a navigator, which we did find. There was 3 navigators that I think we could have potentially gotten, and we got, if I can go back to this very quickly, I'm not sure I can, but we'll see. We got the navigator they called the Child. More specifically though, Cassia here. So she is a officer, I believe it was. Yeah. So she kind of buffs us, debuffs enemies, but specifically the officer seems to be able to give us extra turns, which seems very, very powerful. Extra action points, things like that. And she also seems to be more or less a psyker because she's a navigator. She has those psychic powers. In the story, it was like she was so powerful, her psychic powers, even with this thing covering her third eye, which all the navigators had. It was essentially when she was angry, everyone around her was angry, like on that station. When she was sad, everyone on that station was sad. Kind of spilling over like that. Everyone also did level up at the end of the episode just based on me getting her. So I will do that once we get to where I'm going next. So I essentially have 2 psychers now because I was leveling up Idira here, who is our operative, kind of like me, as a psyker, and not using her as much as an operative because I'm a sniper operative character. So we have 2 people who I might switch out Idira because we have 2 psychers, or the psychers just might be that powerful. I don't know. But the plan for today was we need crew, and we need a few other things, and I think a lot of that can be found on Rykad Minor. New Blood, there's a potential of finding a Machine Spirit Keeper and just landing on Rykad Minor. I'm not sure if we can sell anything that we have here, but we have a lot of loot that we've been finding, just like salvaging on our ship that we already had, with the stuff that we got on Uric 5. So that was kind of the plan, is to go here and then see what happens. I guess I need to scan it. Alright, Lord Captain, there is some commotion on the officer's deck. Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the ward room. Ward room. I'm not sure what a ward room is. Where the uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you would find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Let's go do this. Alright, this is something I want to know. So profit factor isn't spent on buying items, but serves as a simple prerequisite. If you have enough profit factor, you do not purchase the item, it is simply yours for the taking. Okay. She's just reading.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
Yeah, she is engrossed in perusing dusty tomes, which appear to have been neglected by the other officers. Be it because of sloth or dullness of the mind. When you walk closer, she looks up to you, starts, and hides a weathered book behind her back. I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
Okay, I mean, keep on reading. I'm fine with that.
Uric 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
I wish I had more options. It's like, go ahead and do the reading. If you have the time, read. I'm fine with this. And let me know if there's problems. I'm gonna yell at people. And the only attendant is your valet from Uric 5. What about the other ones you asked about, or my servants? I hope you've had... Oh, this one's okay, I suppose. I hope you've had ample time to calm yourself and your powers. Or are you well? Those events that took place on Uric 5 must have been shaking you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, A faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Oh, do I have to ask all three of these? Okay, so what about the other servants? Like, you asked specifically about the other servants to bring aboard the ship. So what about those ones?
No, it is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
Okay, fair. Perception succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed finger in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of the navigator often becomes a topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. Okay. They might ask or things like that. It's unsurprising then that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks. Well, I hope you've had ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting.
Well, I want to have a word with them as well.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
Well, I mean, I want to make sure you're okay, one, because of everything that just happened. Two, I want to make sure you're fitting in the ship. If there's problems, I'm going to make sure there's not any problems anymore. And three, want to make sure you have everything you need.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
You have nothing to apologize for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad. And it's just natural to share them.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
Well, that kind of happened here.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
And I see you can obviously try to romance people in this game because, like, you can try to nicely romance, or you can say just, perhaps we should just go to my chambers. I don't really find it childish. So, I mean, I don't real... To an extent, I suppose we would find it... We would understand it because we went from crime lord to serving the Emperor, so that's one hell of a flip. Our life was turned upside down not too long ago. I mean, we've been here days, haven't we?
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
Perhaps they did not wish to disturb you. Let's be nice to her.
Or because my presence offends them. Then I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
Well, at least we were nice to her and didn't defend her and didn't make her absolutely end everyone on this ship, because we need her for the ship to go warp, right? Oh, do I actually, like, have to, find my way out of here? I know I haven't really explored the ship too much. Those are really nice looking chairs, despite what happened a while ago. Okay, we can go straight to the bridge from here. They got this place kind of back looking up to shape pretty quickly, all things considered. Alright, back to, Rykad Minor. Oh, maximum hit chance is always 95% chance. Interesting. We hardly got anywhere. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Members of a secret cult operating aboard at this ship have requested an audience. They wish to present gifts and introduce themselves to the new captain. What sacred cult? They call themselves the Blood-Spun Web. The cult defends the flagship from both internal and external threats. Lady Theodora held them in high regard and looked favorably upon their activities. Okay. I will commence preparation at once. I don't like a cult being on my ship, but if they're presenting me gifts, this could all be a sham, but I wonder if they helped in the attack. Ooh, blade dancers? That is a bloody gift, to say the least. Okay, so we're up here. I have no one at my table. There's more people that they're going to sacrifice here, probably. Those on deck watch in awe as the final figures move gracefully to a ceremonial pose. Some of the officers whisper in excitement, while others murmur prayers to the God Emperor.
The Undying Emperor commanded us to spin a web of blood around his children, and we obeyed. We obey still.
Okay. The masked cultists repeat those words in a mournful whisper. We obey still.
Domin von Valancius, death has whispered your name. We disown Domin Theodora. We renounce our oath to her.
Uh-oh. She pulls out a sinister curved blade, and similar weapons appear in the hands of her motionless companions.
And now we give the gift of our blood to you. It is the gift of death. Death has whispered your name. The followers of the tenets of the web swear fealty to their new overlord and offer proof of their devotion.
Okay, crazy lady.
We give you a blade, the silent verdict. The Undying One has chosen you to wield this instrument of death. We give you one of our own, Kibella. She will be your shield and shadow. And we give you the blood of these traitors. The tenets of the web will purify their souls.
That was something I was wondering, is if these were some of the cultists that they had caught. And she's talking about herself, and the third person, so I'm assuming I get her as a character. Then we get the Silent Verdict, a two-handed weapon, so she's probably going to be the one using this. Death Cult weapon gains the following: -6 to the target's parry, +1 to the wielder's critical hit chance for each attack they make. This bonus stacks until the end of the round. Okay. Imperium test succeeded. You have heard many stories about death cults such as this one. They are devoted, holy assassins of the Imperium and have turned death into a form of worship of the Emperor. They are exemplary slayers, invisible executioners, and the scourge of traitors, heretics, and fallen souls. Many righteous people honor them as votary of the faith, while others see their fearsome rituals as frenzied spectacles touched by madness. Gain 5 experience. Examine the cultists. They are all voidborn, like me. Their lithe, sinewy bodies are clad in light armor, which allows them to move with an acrobat's nimble grace and strike with an assassin's swift surety. Their red and black vestments are adorned with sharp spikes and ritual jewelry. Where time and training have worn their garments threadbare, you can make out a pattern of bleeding lacerations. It's the captives. Prisoners cower beneath the weight of your gaze. Blood drips down tear-stained faces of the captured officers. Technomants. Lowest rank of tech priests responsible for minor and mundane rituals, nevertheless necessary for the cult to function. And workers. Word has been carved into each of their foreheads in meticulous precision. Traitor, heretic, apostate, renegade, the cultists have diligently and regularly reopened to prevent healing.
These renegades committed treachery against their domin. Their lips once praised the name of Kunrad Voigtveer, but it is your name they will whisper as they cross over to the other side.
Interesting. So a death cult watches over my crew. They who honor the Emperor through killing, who devote their every deed to serving him. Sacred executioners.
The Domin has discerned our essence. This is a great honor for the blood-spun web. We have woven the bays of this ship together with the threads of our faith for many years. We keep the greatest relic, his tarot, through which he sends us his blessed revelations. We obey the whispers of the Undying One. This is our service to him. This is our service to you.
You know, a lot of these relics don't sound like they should be relics at all, but the Emperor's Tarot, a deck of psychoactive cards bearing sacred and meaningful image. Tarot cards are used for divination and predicting the future. So they do all this based on tarot cards. That is interesting. They are believed to be able to capture images sent by the Emperor himself in the hands of a skilled psyker. The Emperor's tarot cards can be a truly potent divination tool. So, I suppose, but a lot of these, like, that doesn't seem like it should be a relic. The writ of whatever doesn't seem like it should be a relic, but yet they are massive things. Okay. Your heart is filled with awe as you gaze at the cultists. You recognize this feeling. You have experienced it before when you walked through the scorching flame and survived, the eyes of your grim guests burning bright with sacrificial fervor. They serve the God Emperor with wholehearted faith and devotion. Tell me about yourself, Kabbalah. Are you the leader of the web, its herald, or just a servant?
I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. The honor of this title is bestowed only upon those who have ushered more souls than... It is shameful to speak of one's own deeds. I'm here to become your shadow, not to make boasts.
Okay, well, we kind of know what the cult does. So, why have you brought the rabble to the upper decks?
So you may offer the souls of these traitors as a gift to him. You have the authority to order their execution. Their blood will bind us together through him. For the God Emperor, the Undying One, is death itself. The Undying One is duty itself.
Okay.
Give the order, Domin. Let a spinner of the blood-spun web undergo the test of a sacred trial.
Well, it's time for Kabbalah to prove herself.
A dagger that has not sliced through sinew is nothing more than a toy. Let the final dance begin.
So I'm assuming they're going to give all these guys some kind of a weapon and she's going to have to beat all of them by herself. But they release the captives from their restraints and place weapons in their hands. Oh! Not just any weapons. This guy, like, gets a dagger.
Your Emperor won't save you!
I will set them free.
I wish it didn't have all these pop-ups right now. Can I pause this, please? No. Kabbalah has a remarkable background. As a death cult assassin, she can use a special ability called Raining Blood. When used, it causes the target of Kabbalah's next melee attack to explode in a burst of blood, covering the floor and any enemies behind the target. Affected enemies suffer additional damage. Kabbalah can also use special throwable consumable item called a Phial of Blood to spill even more blood on the battlefield. Kabbalah is a blade dancer. Blade dancers are incredibly skilled sword fighters who can devastate enemies using two special attacks, Blade Dance and Death from Above. The Blade Dance ability allows a blade dancer to make several light strikes against random adjacent targets. If there is only one target, all strikes are directed against the target. If two swords are equipped, the Blade Dancer deals significantly more strikes. Death from Above allows Blade Dancer to sleep at a selected cell. Upon landing, deal damage to all adjacent targets. This ability can be used multiple times per turn, but each requires a charge to be spent. Blade Dancer gains charges by killing their enemies. Gotcha. Well, we're good here, I think. Start the battle. So, I only have one of these vials of blood. I don't know how I get more for now. So what I'm thinking is I can use as many of these deaths from above as I can. Like, I can use tons of these a turn from the sounds of it. I just need to defeat an enemy to get more. Deals 9 damage to all adjacent enemies. Can be made into any unoccupied cell with a 3-cell radius for the Blade Dancer's line of sight. Does not provoke attack of opportunity. Cannot jump into a cell inaccessible by combat. Can be used multiple times a turn, and each requires a charge used to be spent and inflicts one short breath. What is short of breath? Reduces strength perception by 10% and dodge by 20. Gotcha. Raining Blood. Next cell. Okay, Death Cultist. The Death Cult Assassin next single target melee attack splashes in a 5-cell cone behind the target. And allies in the affected area gain Blood Blast effect. Every enemy in the area, including the initial target, suffers Bloodstained. What is Bloodstained? Suffers 2% more damage for each stack of the Bloodstained effect, so that could add up. Additionally, all cells in the area are now affected and covered by blood for 2 rounds. Whenever a creature interacts with such a cell or moves or stands there, there is a movement when the effect is applied. It receives +1 additional stack of Blood Blessed or Bloodstained. Additionally, for every 10 wounds, the Death Cult Assassin loses through the entire combat. Each creature affected by Blood Blessed or Bloodstained gains +1 stack. Okay. So if we go...
I cannot serve you in this way.
Right here.
As the tenets demand.
And then hit them. I do Bloodstained on all of them. Then probably take this one out.
Death is a blessing.
Then we do Death from Above, hitting all of them.
Brings gives me no pleasure.
Then I can do Blade Dance for 2 AP. The Blade Dancer makes 3 melee strikes against random targets, including allies, dealing 50% of their normal damage. Blade Dance is a melee burst attack that does not count towards attack's limit. Can only be used with sword equipped. If 2 swords are equipped, Blade Dance makes 2 attacks with each one. And I can do Death from Above again, at a no cost.
Trust me. Death is a blessing.
And that's that. So I did have an additional attack if I wanted to. That's a lot of blood. And now we're giving even more guys a chance to fight. Do you realize how demotivated they would all be right now?
I will be your end.
Oh, she does not have a turn though. So what I can do right now, because I don't have any AP,
Death comes.
we can go here,
silence.
raining blood again. Oh, I did get my stuff back. Okay. Hit them.
As honor ordains.
I was hoping to actually take this renegade out. I have 3 charges,
Shadows will
so maybe we Death from
I
Above,
shall not come. The other side awaits. I would that I could.
and then I go right here and Death from Above again. And then I can do
As
Blade
honor
Dance on him.
ordains,
Are there any more?
pleasure.
No. Okay. Just covered in blood, come talk to me. Thanks for creating this mess. We're not going to voice act this part. Okay. A cut to the heart, a cut to the throat, a cut to the stomach. These are wounds that have been inflicted according to his pleasure. The blood of the apostates will wash away the stain of their treachery, so that their souls may prostrate themselves before the Undying One's throne and beg his forgiveness. I have acted with reverence and shown proof of my loyalty. Will you accept me? Will you make me your shield and shadow? Your lordship, the spinners of the blood-spun web were watching, tracking, and killing the von Valencius's enemies long before the warrant of trade passed to Lady Theodora. However, their blade has also been known to cut short the lives of highly upstanding persons. He swallows nervously, casting fleeting glance at Kabila. But I certainly do not in any way condemn the deeds of the deeply esteemed cult. I'm sure they must have a good reason. Master of Arm clears her throat. Cultists are the scourge of the seditious. They bring unrighteous to ruin. Their enforcers respect the bloodspun. The enforcers respect bloodspun web, for we share a common goal. Bring his light and his harsh justice to the dark depths of the ship. Scourge of the seditious or not, folk are afraid of them for a reason. A couple of watches ago, these spinners took a train driver to pieces for some kind of ritual. I don't know what old Malak did to earn that privilege, though, so who's going to feed his family now? But that's lower deck problem. What matters is the bloodspun web serves you faithfully, Lord Captain. And Adalbert. My predecessor's predecessor once delivered a sermon about how the spinner saved this vessel from servants of the Arch enemy. The bloodspun web paid the price in blood, a river of scarlet that flooded the decks from bridge to bilge. They became the blood of the flagship, the pulse in its veins, the beat of its heart, and their great sacrifice earned them the favor of House von Valensis. Okay. Seems that not all of them have been presented to me yet. Confessor Adalbert, your lordship, as a humble servant of the Emperor, I am entrusted with the high honor of being the ship's confessor. In other words, spiritual authority on your vessel. I'm here to oversee the purity of the crew's faith. I care nothing about that. For the crew's officers, I officiate the officer's chapel and also look into the ship's reliquary. Okay. You'll be my shadow. That's fine. Henceforth, I am your shadow. And henceforth, I am your shadow, an instrument of death placed in your hand by the Undying One. Did her hair change? For it was ordained, and so his tarot forspoke. I also come bearing an invitation from the Vizier of the Blood-spun Web. He wishes you to know that the doors to the Undying One's temple are open to you. Are you suggesting that the Lord Captain should go down to the depths of his flagship to search for this temple? With all due respect, the lower decks are for servants and crew. They are not a fitting place for his lordship. Where's the temple? I'm not permitted to say. If you wish to find the temple, you must walk past Saint Iraine, the matriarch spider. Hers was the thread that would become the blood-spun web. Okay. Her path began deep within the flagship in the dark tunnels of the freight line, where yours must begin as well. This journey will bring you closer to the thread of the web, closer to the Undying One, closer to the understanding of death. Well, I don't see a reason why not to. So sure, let's walk that. Your journey will begin in the darkness of the deepest tunnels. The Vizier awaits me. Do I have to do this now is my question. Your blade awaits direction. We will speak again when the time is right. Okay. That is my one question, because I did want to go and get to the miner place there. Oh, voidship map. Okay. The rogue trader ship is a veritable city sailing through the void. The ship has numerous compartments that you can visit. Navigate these compartments using the map of the ship. Okay. Oy vey. You know what, screw it. Let's just get this done with. They also gave me this sword here. So I'm assuming that she uses it. Yeah, 6 to 19 rather than 8 to 10. So this is significantly better for her. We'll just throw it on her. What's this helmet do? The wearer has 10 or more stacks of blood plus to gain 1 resolve. That's cool. Okay. Anything else? I don't really see a reason to throw. I can throw a shotgun on her, because if she can't get direct... This sounds stupid, but if she can't get directly in combat for whatever reason, I can still use that shotgun. Okay. I kind of wanted to go do... the Rykad miners, but let's just get this over and dealt with, because something on my ship should be dealt with. And who knows, maybe... Actually, yeah, to another compartment's up here. This will get rid of other heretics on my ship. So I needed to go to the freight line, is what they told me. Wait, I can bring all of them? Is there a reason not to bring all of them? Sure. I'm not sure how big the party can get, but I'll just bring all of them for now. I'm sure there's a party limit, and it would behoove me to bring the entire party limit. We do need to level everyone up, though, before we do this. Alright, hey guys. Edok Frenso. welcome to Freight Hub LD-987A14, Lord Captain. I am Edok Franco, Captain of Enforcers in the lower deck. The Master of Arms has assigned me to be your liaison for the duration of your stay here. Lord Captain, what would you like to inspect in the control room or begin your search for the temple? I'm mainly here for the blood-spun web. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, I do not know what no one knows. Cultists are too adept at hiding and keeping their secrets, and it worries me that you might have to walk around the entire compartment looking for the temple. Are you worried there's a problem? The lower decks are not suitable for someone of your status. It's not just the grime of the crowds or the brutish laborers. I suspect that the entrance of the temple is hidden in some dark corner where you might encounter criminals or contagious outcasts. It's kind of riffraff that dwells here. You might even be attacked. Such ghastly places you described. We are not headed there, are we, Lord Captain? To put it bluntly, although the bay performs its functions well, there are even more civilized sections that are sorely lacking in discipline. I was only assigned recently, so I haven't had the time to straighten everything up. Since doing so will require making some serious changes, I'm not inventing excuses. As the officer in charge, I will accept full responsibility for what takes place in this compartment. Alright. Well, I hereby offer you my assistance. I shall conduct an inspection and share my thoughts on how to change the place for the better. But... but then he stops himself mid-protest. In that case, I urge you to remain vigilant. The freight trains move at great speeds, and the inhabitants of the residential units are despicable rabble. One must never drop guard around them, and the Emperor preserve you from stumbling into the pestilence pit. That's where the madmen and the lepers live. Alright, be steadfast in your duty. You really do not need to salute me there, guys. Alright, so I need to level up here. So this will bring everyone to level 6. So I get a talent and a characteristic. I once again want to check for anything that is new, because there was something I really wanted to get, and I don't know if I can get it. Interesting that I can't get specialist with solid weapons, or snipers, or anything like that. What I'm looking for, I guess that's a feature, and is there at any point that I can get a feature? Oh, you know what? That might have had to be something I took as a start, or just something I get trained in later, come to think of it. I keep looking for that as a talent, and that might not be how to get that. Gotcha. Because skill, ability, talents, none of these are features. Because what I'm looking for here is the ability to take sniper expertise, because a few of, this was something I was looking for, so I could take sniper expertise. And what's perfect spot? The operative gains plus 25% cover ability efficiency, if in cover, lasts until the operative moves. So it's an operative ability, I just don't have it yet. So I get that next level, actually. Gotcha, that's... So, what I'm thinking is fresh target to do 15% more damage, because if I take someone out that's at full health, I do 15% more damage. And surefire plan, I want to take a look at this quick, is this, which I have every turn. So, if the Crime Lord attacks, they deal 15% more damage. So that would just mean I do 21% damage, and killing at least one enemy restores the one stack of surefire plan. So if this might be the better one, because even if I'm not attacking someone with, I know it's only 6% instead of a 15% damage bonus, but this just is a 6% damage bonus no matter what, so this is effective against bosses as well. Now the problem is, do I want to take another perception, or do I want to up my ballistic skill? Because I have a very high ballistic skill already. Or I mean, I have a very high perception already, and what perception would do for me here is allow me to lower dodge. When is the next time I get another characteristic? It looks like it's going to be a while off. Like 4 more levels. They're going to be pretty far and few in between for a little while. Because my thought here is like having a high perception would be kind of nice, but I have 55. This would up it to 60. So like I would be get hitting most of the hidden doors and stuff like that already with awareness. I was hoping it would tell me what my awareness was. So maybe I take ballistic here, and that's already at 45. Yeah, I was thinking my ballistic was actually just at 30, but that's 30 base before origin and stuff like that. So yeah, let's take perception, because that's gonna help with some of my skills and such as well. Wait, I thought it said this was 45. Oh, that was with the extra bonus. Okay. We need to level Cabela up twice because she's going to hit rank 6 and she's at 4 right now. So we're going to need to select a few traits for her. Oh, that's a question. Does she use heavy weapons? I'll mark it for now. Wait, Axis Sweep and the Hammer's Mate Harsh Shove ability cost 1 less, but no less than 1. Why nothing for Sword? I never checked that before. Okay, now I have to go back to him because I have that on him, I thought. I do not. Okay. But what I really want to know right now, sword and a blade. It is a light two-handed weapon. Okay, so it does not count as a heavy. That changes how I want to level her up. Gotcha. Like, nothing is recommended for her, which difficult. So she has an 80% dodge and a 60% parry. So I think right now, because I don't know much about like how she's gonna work, this Dance of Thorns sounds really good. Each time a Death Cult assassin parries or dodges an attack, all enemies with blood-stained suffer 1 extra effect or stack of the effect. We'll just go with that. And I'm going to go with agility for now because that's initiative, dodge, chance, and if a character uses a melee weapon, their dodge reduction is equal to half the agility. It also affects demolition. So that sounds like a good thing for now, just ups her survivability, essentially. Okay, then choose an ability. Acrobatic Artistry. The Blade Dancer immediately returns it to the cell where they started their turn. This does not provoke attacks of opportunity. If she used Death from above, this movement repeats all of the uses of the ability in reverse. That could be really good. Oath of Vengeance costs 8 wounds to use, so it hurts her by 8. Selects an ally until the end of the combat. Attacks made by the Blade Dancer against enemies who have already attacked that ally gain 15 critical hit chance and 28 critical hit damage. Can be used multiple times per turn, but the bonuses do not stack. Why would I do it then? Oh, to be able to get multiple enemies, or like use it on multiple allies. Gotcha. Okay. Veil of Blades, 8 wounds to use. Blade Dancer faces to the side of their choice and immediately ends their turn. Until the beginning of the Blade Dancer's next turn, they can dodge area of effects without moving, are immune to all types of force movement, and gain 20% parry from that side. And can now parry attacks made against adjacent allies. While under the effects of Veil of Blades, the Blade Dancer can now parry range attacks except ranged area attacks made from that side. The chance to parry a range attack is calculated as if it were a melee attack, whereas the attacker's weapon skill is I mean, that's really good. I do like this. Oh, I think I get multiples of these. When's the next time I get an ability? This might be the last special ability. I was gonna say, when's the next time I get an actual ability? It might be these special abilities or skills. Anyway, because I definitely want acrobatic artistry because that's a huge thing for damaging and therefore making me not take damage. But Veil of Blades here essentially makes it sound like we're taking 8 health of damage. I can make myself not take a lot of extra damage. Like, if I know enemies are on one side, like in that last battle I was in, the last battle of the last episode, or I'm surrounded on all sides, I can put her on one side of the cover and be covered from one side, but then the Blade Master covers the other side and I'm fine. So, given the chance, I'm going to want Veil of Blades. Another one that costs ones to use. Blade Dancer targets a single enemy, vowing to dispatch their mark. Blade Dancer's next attack against their selected enemy cannot be dodged or parried. This attack kills a target. Blade Dancer regains 13 wounds, gains 1 AP, along with an additional attack this turn. Can be used multiple times around, but only grants 1 AP and additional attack only once around. Okay, that's another really good one, because it can be used to heal up a little bit. So realistically, what I want here are Blood Oath, Veil of Blades, and I'm taking Artistry this turn. Well, we'll take Athletics. Actually, she's taken Medicaid before, okay. No one really needs Awareness. I have someone for Demolition. I kind of have someone for Athletics, so yeah, let's take Medicaid. Then Abe. Sorry this is taking a while, but leveling up's kind of interesting here. I never really marked him here. He has Endure already. I never really looked at these other ones. Ooh. Plus 8 damage, ignores 12% of parry and armor pen. Every enemy who survives an attack enhanced by this ability will attack the warrior in return, including creatures with ranged attacks. No thank you. Sword enemy is good. Warrior marks target, gaining 22% armor and 6 damage on melee attacks against target. Really good for bosses. If the target attacks the warrior during this round, he gets plus 1 AP once a round. Breakthrough, warrior gains slash ability, which costs 0. Has 1 charge for the current round. Slash cannot be used in the same round as charge. I like that one as well, because it's a free attack. Forceful strike here. Gathers all their might for a crushing strike. The next melee attack pushes the enemy away. Distance 3 cells. Taunting Scream, make tank. So essentially, I think what I should do, actually here, is Sworn Enemy and Taunting Scream, because then all enemies go at him. Maybe we do Taunting Scream, then Sworn Enemy, then we'll do Athletics here. He has very high Koronus already, so I'm wondering how high. I guess it's only 70. This would put it at 80. And this is skill. How many skills do we get? So this would be in 2 levels, then like 3 or 4, and then 2 again. He has a very high Koronus for now, so we'll do Athletics so we can do those easier, and then we'll switch off the 2. Our other officer slash psyker, from the looks of it, like nothing is going to change. So, every Perils of the Warp increases momentum by 11. She racks that up really fast, so a lot of momentum. Let's grab that. And then, she's an officer, so she needs perception, but we also need willpower for her psyker stuff. I'm going to cancel this quick. Analyze enemy is perception. Her origin stuff is, or her abilities though, this is what I wanted. Willpower. So I have nothing based on intelligence, do I? Perception. So it's either perception or willpower for her for the most part. And I have a feeling that I should level her, if I'm gonna use her, I should level up her perception a bit just because, or her intelligence, I'm actually not sure, because she might be able to go into a different path than me and then be useful that way, I'm not sure. But we'll level up perception for now, just so she gets different checks. Please get a better hit rate. I can get more ballistic skill. I feel like I really should be doing something else on Argenta here, but high agility. This would put her at 6 or 55. Initiative, dodge chance, and demolition. Or I can do ballistic so she actually has a better hit chance. And her hit chance is horrible, so ballistic. I think I want concentrated fire here. Next area attack made by the soldier deals 100% more damage and a 20% less damage or dodge reduction. So all this is for her like cone attack stuff. None of it sounds that great to me, but because I don't really use it, I use the single shot. But nonetheless, concentrated fire, her area attack here deals 100% more damage and ignores 20% more dodge. And finally, our navigator here. Lead by example could be a great one. I like commanding voice for the extra range. I think that's going to be the one I take, but let me take a quick look at these. This one's the next non-common talent. 2 levels. Okay, so there's another really good one I saw. I need to find it back. No Respite. Whenever the officer's abilities grant an action point to an ally, that's the voice of command, or I think a few other ones. That ally also gains +1 to all characteristics for every action point gained until the end of combat. So +1 to everything and to end of combat for every action point. So every time commanding voice is used on them, that's huge. But let's get the range on commanding voice. What is fellowship? I don't have anyone with high fellowship, but I also need her to have very high willpower. She's going to have 65 with this. Increases the chance of resisting mental effects and will and psychic powers, but also enhances hers. We'll get some fellowship, I think, through other means, and we can always buff hers. Okay. So that being said, now we can kind of explore this place. Hey Doc Frenzo, hi there buddy. Just cargo there it looks like. There's a door there. Nothing over here. I mean people, but nonetheless. Is that blood? It's gonna point me somewhere. Can't be, we scrubbed the deck 3 times right before the rogue trader came. Void take me, the captain will have our heads. I think this is going to point me where I need to go. This is the welcome you give the rogue trader. Whoever had the audacity to leave this behind, this appalling symbol, I will see that Master of Arms calls him to account herself. How did they even? No, I want to examine that mark. You've seen this sort of symbol before. Death's cultists carve bleeding marks like this into their own skin. 7 experience gained. Remember this sign? It's the beginning of your quest, the first blood trail. Do you know what mark this is? It resembles the symbols associated with the blood-spun web. What was it again? Song of the Trailing Blood? I think it's prayer familiar to many in this compartment. I've heard spinners say it's, well, perform signature acts of service to the Emperor. The soundless shadows sink into the dark. Slashed feet crescendo, a fatal dance. Blade song and tempo, each edge an echo. Twin odes to death throws now on her sacred blood as she once trod to the back of foes. Tread countless souls, but none who know. You memorized the verse. When I took up my post here, I made sure to familiarize myself with the particular qualities of the compartment. I soon heard about the verse and decided to investigate. I questioned people who follow the bloodspun web and was trying to figure out why there was anything if there was anything pernicious about it, and eventually learned the whole thing. The words are certainly strange, but nothing worse than that, it seems. Well, why would they leave the mark here? Maybe it's something to do with inviting you to visit their temple. And what's the Song of Trailing Blood? From what I can tell, it's like a prayer with several verses that tell about one's life of the cult of saints. Iraine, or the matriarch spider as they call her. So I'm to follow that trail of blood, it seems. I accept the invitation. Hope you find what you're looking for and return to the upper deck safely, Lord.
Embrace true power.
Upper deckers avoid coming here. But how can one live aboard the flagship only to turn one's back on the core that gives it life?
Alright.
This core can just as easily take a life too. Especially if someone around here takes a fancy to your boots.
Yep, that sounds about right. Oh, I need to go down there for the goods. Is that the rogue trader himself? Yep. Now, I was going to go into that door, but I suppose we should look into this. Burnt man. Mercy, save me. The young man gasps for air through burnt lip, slipping in and out of delirium, skin dripping from his gaunt body like melted wax candle. His eyes, somehow inact, alive, clear, filled with pain, stare at you from under his caked eyelids. Oh, this guy right here. So what happened to them? Get enforcers and Medican personnel in here. There's a man in need of revival. Once he has recovered, assign him to a scribe's apprentice. He's too badly injured to be back to a worker's life, yeah? God Emperor has sent you to save me. You are his light. You are his grace. Thank you. You're not leaving me here. Never forget the mercy that Lord Captain has granted you. When the Undying One is ready to accept a soul, it must be sent forth, and so it will be freed from the torment of flesh. Yet you have chosen to prolong this one's suffering. Your intentions perplex me. Do you know anything about the mark next to you? A spinner came, painted the symbol, then he gave me water, whispered a strange verse, and he told me to memorize it and recite it later, so that help would come. And here you are, then I should. He began to whisper, and his lips twist in pain. To soot, smirched soul, her mercy did grant. Last breath expressed, knife met heart. Removed from chest, passed on to death, her duty blessed, a balm for those who suffer, anguished and distressed, along brought to rest, of mortal bonds souls divest. More verses. The crux of this test is clear. In order to follow the saint's footsteps, you are supposed to kill the young man and thus release him from his suffering. The cultist wants to see if you understand the philosophy of those that you seek. What happened to you? I'm Vale, a cleaner, and this was my house. I was in my house asleep. Enforcers came and set fire to it. I didn't make it out in time. I wonder how long he's been sitting here like this. A watch? 3? Whispers say nobody cared because he didn't matter, but they also say he's supposed to somehow matter to us. Strange. Well, help is on the way. I don't know why are the enforcers torching his house? Why did the enforcers torch all this? Lord Captain, how may I serve you? What are you doing? Burning the poor shacks, Lord Captain. Rabble rebuild them, cutting off the air supply in the next bay and making it difficult for the Inferni to work. We've told the serfs to get out of here many times, but they won't listen. Captain has ordered everything to be burned down and afterward this area to be sealed off. Okay. Well, I mean, what's done is done. Suppose I can go athletics here. Jump over and get the goods. Because he's not going to be needing that.
For this old officer.
So there are charred scraps of parchment and ration cards that can probably be spent on something. 1 portion of ration protein and a mug of water. And then this is, you can barely make out the crude scribbled words on the burnt note. Then pass the marketplace. Make sure the enforcer doesn't follow you, or you'll ruin the entire operation. On the tracks behind that, you'll find a gift. Give it to him and you'll see for yourself. Okay. So something on the tracks.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I'll have to find that one out later, I'm assuming.
Powers unseen, uncover my path.
Here's one pointing me this way. What's the commerce over here?
Predictable.
Judging by the merchant's round. It's just telling us about the merchant. Gotta turn the camera a bit here. Stuff over here. Why is he considered a dead man? Sinewy middle-aged man watches the bustle of the bay with a detached expression. Every so often, whenever his eyes linger on the blood mark inscribed nearby, his face changes strangely and his hands clench into fists. Just as you begin to hear the rumble of an approaching train, the man's gaze turns towards the tracks. He leans forward. Well, we can just observe. The man freezes a step away from oblivion, listens, then recoils and goes once more. And what do you think you are doing? What? I didn't. Man almost starts and falls, but manages to keep his balance. In the dim lumen of light, you notice old scars all across his body. The scars seem vaguely familiar. Well, let's take a look at the scars. They vary in length, width, and depth. However, you notice a pattern in the way the scars are aligned. A series of faded symbols on the man's rough skin. Death cultists bear similar marks across their body. So he used to be a spinner, but spinners are constantly renewing their wounds while this man's long look healed. Your eyes always return to that blood symbol. Do you know about it? It's a symbol of the blood-spun web. I come here every watch, but it hasn't been here before now. I guess today must be a special day. Have you come to take me to the other side? I do not know you. Death's gaze is not upon you. But then why? Why is it here? Do you know the symbols of the blood-spun web? You bear similar scars. Are you a spinner? Oh, I hit the wrong button. asking him if he was about to jump. My whole life has been rotten. And I have only myself to blame. I've tried to change things, fix things, but I always end up here, so I eventually accepted the truth. But now, you know this. You have the symbols of this bloodspun web. I was, but I failed to complete my final assignment, so I was exiled from the cult. The Vizier told me to kill one who had been at a certain spot junction of the Unity tunnels at a certain hour. I went to the spot. I waited an hour, 2-5. The junction was still empty. Nobody came. After hours of waiting, I finally realized the person at the junction had been me the whole time. It was my turn to go to the Undying One, but I was afraid I couldn't do my duty. I ran. So the spinners simply let you go. They made no attempts to find you. There was no pursuit. I thought I'd see their black blades very next day. Instead, years passed without them taking my heart. I tried starting a new life, but the tear never stopped eating away at me. When I truly got desperate, I went to the Temple of Death myself, but no one there would speak to me. When I gave them my name, they just whispered, "Sibrid has gone to the Undying One." They'd look at me like I wasn't even there. I've lived like this for 20 years, like a coward, like a dead man. You were ordered to die for what reason? But some would choose to leave the righteous path. These earned the penance in due time. Her whip stings vengeance on renegade menace. Her blades pass sentence, for cowards hide their hearts, but death makes no precedence. It takes what is due in essence. He stops and then adds hoarsely the third verse of the Song of Trailing Blood. The Vizier recited it to me before sending me on my final assignment. I didn't realize at the time it was my judgment. Another verse, another step along the trail of blood. The riddle is trivial, and it is time to take what is due. The Vizier is waiting expectantly for you to carry out the sentence he passed years ago. There was plenty of reasons. I sowed death. I offered him souls of the most pleasing men and women I could find because it kindled my passions. I killed well-off crewmen who didn't deserve their wealth. I took their thrones. I killed enforcers who looked into my eyes without fear because I wanted to be feared. I reveled in bloodshed. I betrayed the tenants. I realized it, but I couldn't help it because I enjoyed it. Oh, you poor thing. I think I'm gonna cry. You couldn't stop slicing people up. That must have been so hard for you. Even my whispers have nothing to say to a pathetic tale like that. I bet they're thinking, what a lousy, self-absorbed sack of scum. You do not sound remorseful. I spent years in remorse. I'm tired of it. Have you killed any more souls since you ran? No, I've been too afraid to touch my own knife since that day. I thought it might just stab me on its own. But the temptation is always there. Well, you're a coward and a butcher of the innocents. I will purge my ship of your existence. The Undying One is death. Man does nothing to stop you. He leans closer to the rails, accepting the fate with a smile. And that's a bit of a spray. Truly, it's better to die for him than live for yourself. This he forgot. So we're supposed to get down. Oh, I see. That's below the rails. Down there for some goods, though. That's what the note was talking about. Can I get down there? I'll just have to keep exploring that later.
Let's seize the opportunity.
On us. An ill
Stuff right here. More ration cards. Maybe those can be used for someone. Rogue trader. And what's this? How many times do I need to tell you, ungrateful Magus, mistakes must be paid for? Have mercy, the throne's name, I beg you. Okay, so what did he do? 12. So his name is 12. Your gracious lordship, hand of the God Emperor, save your unworthy servant. What did you do? The battered worker throws himself at your feet and touches the toe of your boot with his dirty palms. get lost. The Enforcer's heavy baton pummels the man's back and shoulders several times. His bones crack audibly. The sound of breaking bones, the man's cries, and the Enforcer's hateful laugh remind you of what you went through yourself too vividly and painfully. Gain the echo of torment. Ooh. Duration permanent. The character suffers a -10 penalty to perception. The scene of the workers' beating has brought up memories of your own torture, and I don't know if I can get rid of that. Lovely. My sincerest apologies, Lord Captain. Your boot, I'll clean it right away. I'm not worried about my boot right now. A murmur of discontent breaks out among the gawkers who have gathered around. None of the other workers dare come closer, but the anger in their faces is plain to see. I intend to hear this man out. Your lordship, I work hard, I never even take breaks to rest. And all I earn is 7 ration cards with 15 mouths to feed back home. The Enforcers shake me down every shift, just like they do with every other hard, honest worker who... Enough whining. You and your pals lifted a box of Nutribars a few watches ago. 2 canisters of water before that. Didn't I beat the life out of you because I took pity on you, and this is the thanks I get? You beat him because you took pity on him? I don't really see pity for you, sir. You quarantined the hub for 20 watches and refused to give out rations if we didn't have cards. Cards we had no way to earn. And today you earned 15 cards in a single shift because you do the work of 3 people. Or did you take your pals to a dark corner somewhere, do them in, and take their share? I didn't do that, men. It was an act. The worker stops himself, cowers, and whimpers. They got their heads bashed in by crates. The dead don't need rations. Am I to understand that enforcers are appropriating earnings from workers after their shift? We appropriate nothing. We just monitor and redistribute. The enforcer mutters gloomily. The rabble are lying in the thieving lot. We have instructions to stay alert for people holding more than the standard amount of ration cards, to prevent supply embezzlement and famine. They do take our cards, your lordship, and then grow fat using them for themselves. He seems unable to believe his stroke of luck. Yeah, so earlier it was showing, I said something about the enforcer quarantined the entire block and didn't let anyone who had the ability to work get ration cards, so the people who needed to get food couldn't get food. Effectively starving people out. And that could have led to a lot of this, is kind of what I'm thinking here. You quarantined the hub for 20 watches, so I'm assuming that's... 20 watches can't be 20 days. But that's still going to be days. And you refused to give out rations if we didn't have cards. Cards we had no way to earn. And then today you earned 15 cards in a single shift. So you get 5 cards a day. And he said he had 7 kids. I'm not sure if that's right. It could be. The mom could be working. I'm not sure about that. So, sounds like he is somewhat abusing his position. And, well, if I just tell him to return the cards, that's not probably going to be enough. So, he's discharged, and he's going to work with them to see how it feels, because he broke many of this man's bones. The enforcer freezes in place, not daring to raise his hands, and squeezes out a lifeless Yes, Lord Captain. The onlookers bellow triumphantly and point at the enforcers, praising the Lord Captain. Awareness test succeeded. A sullen, red-bearded man with keen black eyes draws your attention. Where would he be? Can I see him here? There's like two guys that have my attention. This guy way back here, and him, and none of them seem to have a red beard. His oddly piercing gaze ceased to size you up the whole time you were speaking, but now he has hastened to conceal himself behind the gawkers. Next thing you know, you're watching him hurry deeper into the tunnels. May the God Emperor protect you in the house of all of House Valencius, Lord Captain. Yeah. Oh, that guy right there, probably. That's just the officer enforcer. Gotcha. Oh. I can do stuff here.
An expected result.
Oh, I desperately failed that. I had an 80% chance and I think I failed it horribly. Okay, open the door because I think there was something behind this.
Unexplored.
No, there is not loot in here. Fine. That means I can't get over here. What are the levers? Can I operate the levers? Aha. This'll move the crate. And then we do this one again. Now we have to attach it manually. I think we can do that. Secure it in place. Yeah. I just need to read what he actually did. Then we go back up and do lever again, and then it's out of the way. And then I have a feeling we should move it to the side, just so it doesn't fall on us. And then we can go through here. Some graffiti. Someone has sketched a hastily portrait of a worker with a red scarf over his face. And then here's a door. A laborer with the goods. A power pick. So it's one-handed light with a lot of damage on it. It has a few attacks on it, including a piercing strike and then some other goods. Is this better than... How is the power pick better than the Mars pattern sword? I just have to ask. This weapon has an extra attack action which increases armor penetration of all subsequent attacks made against the same target by plus 10 for 1 round. Stacks. So piercing strike. Okay, well, maybe we can use that. Power pick. What were you doing in there, bud? Don't make noise. They shot everyone. Please don't tell them. Okay, well. You do you. Then back to where I was. So he went this way. Let's follow him. And move this container to get at these goods.
Nothing matters more.
Which looks like a guy in some crates. Anything particularly useful or just rations and supplies to sell? Okay. Scrap. There's a door. And it wants me to go this way, but I'm more interested in getting all the stuff around here.
As always. The world trembles beneath my feet.
Some goods, some thieves. Okay, well, it's actually going to be combat here. Thief leader, who are you? There's not supposed to be anyone here. Oh, it doesn't matter. Identify yourself. Take a closer look at them. Makeshift armor, peeks out from beneath the ragged clothes, battered weapons, crude repairs. The group stares longingly at the rack where good plasteel arm gleams, and yeah, they want the weapons. You notice that the little finger on every person's right hand has been cut off. It's hardly a coincidence. Who I am doesn't matter. What are you doing here? It matters. You better answer it or this conversation won't last long at all. Fine. I'm the rogue trader, and you will explain what you're going to do here. What are you gawping at? Hurry up and bend your backs right as it proper. Your lordship, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself. It's not every day you see the rogue trader in the flesh. And, for this, I won't insult you by denying it. You've caught us red-handed. We were gonna steal. And, why shouldn't I execute you on the spot? You could execute us, but who would take our place? Shameless scum who rob and kill to their heart's content? Who accept mutants and their gangs and pray to the archenemy? There have always been outlaws on the ship. You're better off with outlaws like us who don't go too far in keeping the heretics down. If the rumors about you are true, then you yourself know how it goes. There are criminals, and then there are criminals. I mean, that's true. Would I rather have stupid criminals on my deck that keep... Or would I rather have actual criminals? Fine, you can take basic weaponry and we are going to oversee it. One day I will realize the depth and wisdom of your decisions, but in the meantime, I pray this act does not come to haunt you. Hear that, boys? The captain is expecting good things from us. We can't let him down. The cronies make sounds of approval. We will fulfill your command to the letter. Nothing lasts, okay? Hey, they left the Ripper for me. And the last guns. And all the other goods. So the Ripper's high penetration, solid projectile. So that's probably for, our soldier there. It is not, however, rate of fire 4 compared to 8. So realistically, and it's also a bolt weapon rather than solid. I was going to say the Ripper could probably do a lot more damage if I used, the burst fire because it's twice as many shots. But then it has a slightly higher damage cap. But I don't know. So maybe we give that to her for when she's not in combat. I like direct stuff. Oh, this one I can just do tech. I'm good with tech.
Ruinous favor prevails.
Just more cargo junk, okay. And can I open this door at all? I cannot. Looks like I've missed a lot of loot, but oh well.
Embrace
anyway,
power.
So I'm gonna keep following this which it looks like it might go to the next area and then... Yeah. I thought this was my party. That's the rogue trader. What's the commotion? Yeah, we'll follow this line going to follow the cult in the next episode. Just because this one's getting kind of long. I'm not sure how much farther this is going to go. But I guess we'll just keep investigating the cult. I did want to go to the other world, but then this popped up, so I'm not sure what all is gonna be here. And then we'll go to the minor world in the next episode or after this, because things just keep popping up. And I'm really hoping this Echo of Torment isn't permanent throughout the entire game. This just goes away once we go to the normal ship part where we're not in exploration mode. Because if this is a permanent -10 perception for the rest of the game, that is bad just based on story effects. Really, really bad. Considering perception is one of my normal stats, or stat I use for a lot of stuff on my main character. But such as it is, I suppose, and we'll go with that. And just see what we can explore and just how much Cabela here can do once we get into an actual combat. And go from there. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, wish you all well. I will see you next time. And please, have a good one.